NFTs are amazing because you don't have to depend on anybody else. Once you buy this NFT and it's in your wallet, you sort of have control over it, right? There's this idea of self-custody and self-sovereignty, which sounded really great, in late 2017, early 2018 when I was talking about it. But then by mid 2018, 2019, the market started crashing. A lot of the marketplaces started going out of business. So there was like Rare Art Labs and Digital Objects and Additional, there weren't that many to begin with back then. So I would say about half the marketplaces didn't even survive 2018, 2019. And those of us that were early collectors, noticed that our NFTs were breaking, right? We either couldn't access them or they were broken. And at the time, we didn't think too much of it because that first wave of NFT collecting, most of us were spending $5, $10, $15 or whatever, right? I think the whole space was probably less than a couple $1 million, from those early days. But then 2021 hits and the whole world sort of starts to go gaga over NFTs. After Beeple sells the $70 million NFT, we start to see NFTs show up on Saturday Night Live. They're on everywhere. You couldn't get away from them for a while, right? And all the people that were making fun of me, during 2017, 2018 for spending money on JPEGs I could see for free, which I get it. It looks kind of weird and silly from a distance. All of a sudden they were I get it now. You were early to this and I want to get into it or whatever. And, so some investors came to me and said you should start a marketplace. And I said, I don't want to start a marketplace. There's way too many of them out there already. My friends run them. Why would I want to compete with them? But guys, we're gonna be screwed because the first round of NFTs, all of them broke after a year or two when the marketplaces went out of business. There's this massive dependency where the art is almost never stored on the blockchain. It's actually less than 10% of NFTs store the art on the blockchain. So what happens is if the marketplace goes out of business, about half the time, the art is stored on their server. So even though you have the token, just like your Bitcoin or your Ethereum, and it's sitting in your wallet, there's a permanent link that can't be changed coming out of that token to where the art's supposed to live. Well, if it's Jason's, NFTshack.com and I go out of business, you just permanently have an NFT that points to a broken image. And the value of that NFT, the thing you fell in love with when you were shopping for the NFT is the art, and it's not there anymore. Again, not a big deal when these things were $10, $15, but then we had tens of billions of dollars going into this NFT space, right? And I'm there's zero reason to believe that this isn't all gonna fall apart again. So the good news is 50% of NFTs, the ones that follow best practices, use this thing called IPFS, where the link coming out of your token points to a decentralized storage where anybody can pin that image to make sure it's there. And almost more importantly, it creates a mathematical hash to prove that that image, let's say it's an image of a sailboat, is the exact image that the artist uploaded in the first place. So no one can turn your sailboat into a dog poop or something like that, right? So we know that it's the right art and we can all, participate to pin it, it's called, to store it on IPFS. But there's a problem there too, because the marketplace is usually the one that's paying the pin to keep that image there. And if the marketplace goes out of business again, unless the collector is paying to pin it themselves, or if they've downloaded it locally, again, they're screwed, right? So it's not like Jason's paranoia or I'm trying to make a prediction. I've lived through this. We saw it happen the first time. We're seeing it, happen again as marketplaces started to shut down during the bear. So almost all, without intervention, almost all NFTs will break. Like all things in life, there's entropy, right? So what we've done is allow people to be able to put in their address for their wallets for their NFT collection. And we crawl through and we grab all the assets in the exact same format that the artists uploaded them to IPFS. You, the collector, then download them in a single file locally. And if the marketplace goes out of business, you can always restore it because you have the exact files that match that hash, right? So you basically don't have to depend on anybody, including us. And that was really important to me because we're a startup, right? Most startups fail. If we fail, we're not really helping people if we don't build a system where they can actually be independent and truly self-custody, right? So that's the core of what we've built.